Why did the turkey cross the road? Well, the chicken had the day off. Hey, Travis County, welcome to Turkey Talk. It's that time of the year to start thinking about those holiday meals if you haven't already done so. I'm Tamara Schubert, your Family Consumer Science Educator for NMSU and Travis County Cooperative Extension. Join us this month as we talk about turkeys, the how-dos, the don'ts, and the how-tos leading up to Thanksgiving. So let's start at the very beginning. So you've probably wandered those grocery store aisles and wondered what turkey to pick, which one's going to look the best coming out of the oven, and which one's going to taste the best on the table. So hopefully we'll go through some tips and tricks that will help you along the way to make those decisions. But let's talk at the very beginning and let's talk about the when. When to purchase your turkey really depends on what you're going to purchase. Fresh turkeys can be purchased a little different than frozen turkeys. So choosing a fresh and frozen turkey simply depends on what you prefer and largely on how soon you plan to cook that turkey. No matter which one you're looking for, all turkeys are USDA inspected, so you can find that seal right on your turkeys. So depending on what brand you get, most of our major brands will also have a grade. So you want to look for those grade A turkeys in your grocery stores. If you're looking to purchase a fresh turkey, there's also several advantages to that, but there's also some downsides to that. Fresh turkeys are ready to prepare. So you don't have to deal with the defrosting, when do I take it out of the freezer, all that calculating. They're ready to prepare. But what you do have to watch for is proper storage of those fresh turkeys. So fresh whole turkey like this one can be stored in the refrigerator between 33 degrees and 44 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 to 2 days. Now you'll notice on the packaging, sometimes they have a sell-by date or a best-by date. Now as long as the package is unopened, those turkeys can remain in the refrigerator until those dates. Do not, though, go off of the sell-by dates. The sell-by dates are there for the store and not for us as consumers. So 1 to 2 days, if it's a fresh or whole turkey part, or the date, the best by date that's stamped on the turkey itself. We do want to look at proper storage, though. You can store your turkeys in the coldest part of the refrigerator. And that often means the lowest part, so the bottom shelf. The other positive of that is that if it happens to drip any juice, it doesn't drip on our other items in our refrigerator. And that goes for more than just turkey. That goes for any of our meat products. We like to store them on the bottom shelf so we don't contaminate the other food in the refrigerator if there's leakage or spoilage. So for longer storage, we do want to freeze those fresh turkeys. If we bought something a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving and it was a fresh turkey, we want to go ahead and freeze those. So in the freezer, turkeys are good for usually about 12 months. So for those of you looking for a bargain after the holidays last year, purchased a turkey, you do want to use those this year. Don't roll them over till next year. So buy a new one after the holidays go off if that's what you prefer. But they're good for about 12 months in the freezer. Frozen turkeys, the advantage of that is they can be bought weeks in advance. And that is great for those of us that are looking to avoid those grocery store crowds. Because you can buy them weeks in advance, it also means that buying frozen gives you a much larger selection and you can pick to buy when it's convenient on your end. We went this weekend, there were 4 or 5 different brands going. The cases were full because we're weeks in advance. And that's one of those advantages of buying frozen. The downside is that you're going to need several days to thaw that turkey out. And then you have to think about not only refrigerator space to store it, but also freezer space to store it until that day when you need to thaw. The rule of thumb in defrosting a turkey like this one is to allow 1 day of thawing for every 4 pounds of turkey. So for most of us, if we're getting 16-pound turkeys, because that's usually what's available in the store, that's going to take 4 days to thaw in our refrigerator. And that does take up some extra space. So look at your space and what you have available before you go shopping for your turkeys. Make sure you have enough room in that refrigerator and that freezer depending on the turkey that you buy. Not only do we look at fresh or frozen when we purchase turkeys, but we're also concerned about the size of the turkey that we need to feed everybody that's going to be around our dinner table. We want to make sure that we have enough of the bird to go around for everybody. And for most of us, we want those leftovers, or maybe not, depending on who you are. So if you're planning on 1 to 2 people for dinner, try looking for a bone-in turkey breast. There were many options out this weekend as we went. You can also look at the turkey hens. So most of your tom turkeys, which means it was a boy, are going to be your bigger turkeys. So if you're looking for just 1 to 2 people, you may look for a hen. Those hens can range in sizes between 8 and 16, but most of our tom turkeys are going to be over 16 pounds. The other thing that you can look at is for those specialty turkeys, those that are organic or raised without antibiotics. Those tend to be on the smaller side too. So if you're concerned about the big turkey and wasting food, you have some other options to look at. Many turkeys, like I said, are in the store at 16 pounds. So just how big of a bird do you really need? The general rule of thumb is that you need 1 pound or 1.5 pounds for every person that you plan on feeding. So 1 person is 1.5 pounds of turkey. 4 people would be 5 pounds of turkey. 6 would be 8, 10 would be 13, 12, 15, 20 would be 25. You multiply on up, but those turkeys get really big. If you're looking at having a lot of people around your dinner table, one suggestion would be to look at 2 turkeys versus 1. They're going to cook not only faster, but they're also going to cook more evenly. The beneficial of a smaller bird, right? So the other thing that we found interesting in the stores this weekend is check those nutrition food labels. So the FDA, if your product contains under a certain amount of things, they don't have to be on the food and nutrition label. So compare some of the nutrition labels that you find on your turkeys in your grocery store. Some of those have a brine that's already added to them with added sugars. So that may not show up as added sugar on your nutrition facts label, but it will show up as extra calories because it's under those limits. So if you're concerned about those, make sure you compare your nutrition facts label on the turkeys that you are looking to purchase. Join us next week. We'll have more turkey talk as we lead up to the big day.